AITAH for refusing to let my future in-laws make a speech at my wedding after they tried to talk my fiancé out of marrying me. I am getting married in a few months to my fiancé and we're both really excited. We've been together for 4 years and honestly he's my favorite person in the world. We've been through a lot like job changes, health scares, a long-distance stretch, but we've always come out stronger. The only real sore spot in our relationship has been his parents. They've never been rude to my face, but they've never liked me. His mom is the passive-aggressive queen, and his dad is one of those guys who smiles at you while saying something subtly insulting like, "You must be pretty persuasive if you got our son to put up with a dog in the house." We have too. Just constant little digs that make it clear they don't think I'm wife material. But the real issue came about 6 months ago when my fiancé told me that his parents had sat him down and tried to talk him out of marrying me. Not once but twice. Once over dinner at their house and again in a phone call. In both combos they basically said I'm too emotional, not raised like them and a mismatch for their son. His mom even said she felt I was beneath his potential. To his credit he shut it down both times. He told them he loved me, that they were being incredibly disrespectful and that this wedding is happening with or without their blessing. Fast forward to now, wedding planning is mostly done and we're working on the ceremony order and speeches. His parents told him they were preparing a short, heartfelt toast for the reception. I told him I wasn't comfortable with that. I don't want to give a microphone to 2 people who literally tried to sabotage our relationship. I feel like any heartfelt words will either be fake or somehow laced with shade. He was surprised and said he gets where I'm coming from, but that he thinks it could be a turning point for them to publicly show support and maybe even heal things. I said if they want to prove anything they can do it privately, a letter, a conversation, literally anything beforehand. But I'm not risking my wedding day becoming awkward because they decide to be petty or performative. He said he'd respect whatever I decide, but I can tell he's hurt. And now, some of our closest friends are saying I'm being too cold and that it'll just cause more tension long term. His parents are obviously offended and called me controlling. So, AITA for putting my foot down and saying no speech from the in-laws? Update, hi again. Just wanted to give a quick update now that the wedding has come and gone, and I've finally had time to breathe again. First of all, the wedding was amazing. Absolutely beautiful. My husband, still weird to say that, and I was surrounded by people who love us, the weather held up, the food slapped, and I don't think I stopped smiling for more than 5 minutes the entire night. We danced like fools. It was exactly what I hoped for. Now for the part you're all probably here for, his parents. So, after my original post, my fiancé sat down with them and let them know, firmly but politely, that we were not including them in the speech portion of the evening. He told them exactly why, that trying to sabotage our relationship and never even apologizing, disqualified them from being honored guests in that way. Apparently, they didn't take it well. His mom cried and called me divisive and his dad accused me of ruining family traditions. They didn't back down or try to have a real conversation, so we left it at that. I honestly didn't care by that point. We had made our boundary clear. Wedding day comes and to my surprise, they actually behaved. No snide remarks, no interruptions. They smiled for photos, clapped at the right moments and made it through dinner without drama. I thought maybe we had gotten through to them. Then came the reception. During the open mic portion, which was meant for a couple of pre-approved friends who wrote quick, funny memories, his dad stood up, walked up to the DJ and tried to take the mic. I saw it from across the room and immediately panicked. But to my absolute relief, our DJ shut it down. He was amazing. He politely said the mic was closed and escorted him away from the stage. I later found out my best friend had warned the DJ just in case and he had our back 100%. After that, my husband pulled his dad aside and told him that was his one and only warning. We're adults. We're married now. And if they couldn't respect our boundaries, they'd be seeing a lot less of us. Since then, they've been distant. No calls. No texts. But also no apologies. Which is honestly fine with me. I'm not going to chase people who never wanted to accept me in the first place. I married the love of my life. Our day was everything I wanted. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like we're fully on the same page as a team. So yeah. To everyone who commented on my first post and told me I wasn't being unreasonable, thank you. You gave me the push to stand my ground, and I'm glad I did. And now the top comments. That story was really great, especially for me since I have had people who were backstabbers. I kind of knew it but tried to be nice, and got stabbed. Good on you for sticking to your guns. Like the little boy who farted in church, they get to sit in their own pew now. Much happiness to you and your new hubby. Maybe someday, ESP, if grandkids are incoming, they will rethink their shitty behavior and give a heartfelt apology for their untoward mean attitude toward you. Control freak parents suck. It would be interesting to have heard what your FIL was planning on saying, but it must have been priceless to see him escorted away from the MIC and not get a chance to say anything mean or left-handed about you and his son's marriage. My guess is that they were being nice at the wedding to give him a chance to do it. You nipped it in the bud. This Redditor says. Absolutely NTA, what in the world is wrong with them? I don't understand people who backstab then think they can just walk back into your life like nothing happens. Literally makes zero sense. Another Redditor says. You know you made the right decision when they didn't immediately attempt to apologize to you and make up for their bullshit when told they were not getting speeches. I think the reality is you gave your husband the strength to have a backbone, and ultimately, that is why they don't like you. He has something worth fighting for, and they no longer have control over him. Hence why they wanted you gone. And the last Redditor says. You did exactly what you had to do, and it's honestly kind of amazing how resilient you are. It'd be easy to feel guilty for protecting yourself, but these folks clearly weren't going to offer any genuine support, so, as much as it hurts, their lack of grace is really on them, and you were right to prioritize your peace because, trust me, those wedding memories will be so much brighter without the shadow of their drama. And if I learned anything about family, it's that sometimes you just have to draw a line, and I'll probably need a strong drink later because dealing with relatives can be tougher than it looks, NTA. And now we continue with another story. AITA for telling my siblings about my sister stealing our inheritance before I confront my sister? Don't get me wrong, I've tried to ask her many times about probate, which she refused to do with excuses there wouldn't be enough money to recover to make probate worth it, and she's also been asked multiple times about a specific inheritance my mother came into when my mother was actively dying. When I discovered the circumstances and amount of the money left, it was obvious my sister, the executor, the POA, and caretaker, hid this from us and that it would have been a life-changing amount of money for each of the beneficiaries on my mother's will, which states equal splits. We are going to confront her about this and give her the opportunity to fess up and make right to each sibling with the remaining amount and not even be penalized for what she's spent, so long as she's compliant and upfront. Honestly, I just feel like an asshole wishing there was another way to handle it and fearing she will always resent me for outing this secret. AITA for not giving her a chance to fix it before sharing info with my siblings, even though she's already lied so many times about it and I didn't feel she'd admit it in this approach. Update 1. Thanks to everyone who responded. I appreciate the help getting in the right headspace about this. I finally have documented physical evidence now showing there is still quite a lot of dollar left, just had to get on a plane and return to my mother's house to fortunately find a paper trail. Will update again. Update 2, my siblings and I have developed how we want to approach this with her, and the oldest is traveling into town as we speak, so we are doing this in 4 hours. We have a lawyer on retainer. If she shows anything but full compliance, we will be forced to continue with legal action, which includes removing her as executor and trying to validate the old will, which divides the house 4 ways as well. I stayed up all night photographing documents proving her abuse of power of attorney, fraudulent actions, and her self-serving interests in hiding assets. She will be returning soon to my mom's house, the house left to her in the possibly forged will but which is not in her name yet, so she does not have possession of, which is when we will confront her. My sister has appeared kind and even generous at times to her friends and to her family. If there wasn't actual evidence proving these actions, no one that ever met her would believe she could be capable of this. Update 3. After the initial shock of confrontation, my sister broke down in tears and spat out some swan song final lie about my mother's wishes being that she keep the money and keep it a secret. However, she also said she never intended on allowing this money to not be split, but instead wanted to allow it to appreciate for a little longer to increase its total value before surprising us with our inheritance. Honestly, I know she's lying about that to save face, and maybe she believes that because it makes her feel better. It truly doesn't matter anymore why or what happened now that she is showing us account information and agreeing to the amount she will begin transferring to each of us tomorrow after we all get to talk to her financial advisor. Legal action scared her, and I'm grateful these funds will be recovered. To the rest of it, let sleeping dogs lie. You may say I should still pursue legal recourse, but since this money is all I wanted to recover, I don't care about anything else. I will absolutely keep updating on the progress. If anything goes wrong, legal recourse will be taken. P.S. Of course, she said she wishes I would have come to her first, as she obviously would have cleared up the misunderstanding. As if. Update for my sister opened our conversation this morning with trying to get me on a flight home. She's completely changed her mind now and is pursuing legal action. So are we. I'm so angry right now. Update 5. Today my sister got served the petition for her to sign, which was our action to probate the original will, which I am the executor of. We have a great lawyer and hope we can get things sorted out. She has been caught in a million lies, and my dad cancelled her phone line and car insurance. Yes, he had been paying for these things the entire time, including the time she became wealthy, since she kept the money a secret. I'm hoping things will go in our favor. Everyone in our family is still experiencing some shock over her actions and responses to the situation. Update 6. Honestly, I've been so depressed over this situation the last few days. I miss my sister and worry about her constantly. Our lawyer told us not to speak with her, but I fear my sister may do something to hurt herself. At the same time, and polar opposite to this fear, I sometimes wonder if she even cares. I've started doubting so many things in my life involving her, and especially involving how my mom was truly treated while she was dying during the times I was not able to be with her. It breaks my heart. I need to figure out a way to deal with this estrangement and the deep harm it is causing our entire family.